An elderly man goes to shop for ropes, and as he goes to cut it, a worker comes to help him, but the man tells him off. As he comes to check out, the cashier charges incorrectly for the rope, so he argues with them. That's the drama. As we move on, the man gets ready in an orderly fashion and leaves home on time. He goes out and sorts out the trash and walks off. Jimmy, walking weirdly, passes the old man, calling him Otto. Now, Otto hates anything and everything he sees. He is also not shy about letting people know about it. He works at a manufacturing industry, and when he reaches the workplace that day, everyone's excited since it is Otto's retirement party. Otto doesn't hold back and he totally hates how his subordinate was promoted as his supervisor. The others are used to Otto's behavior, and as they cut the cake, Otto leaves. He comes back home and cancels his phone connection. He cleans the room and wears a suit. He lays down newspapers on the floor and places a table and gets on top. He drills a hole and hangs a rope, and it looks like Otto has decided to self-delete himself. As Otto goes ahead with his plan, he notices his new neighbors moving into the house across his. Otto is triggered by how they are struggling to park the car, and he goes out to argue with them. He joins the pregnant lady in signaling the guy to park the car, but it doesn't take long for Otto go crazy and he jumps in to drive the car himself. He turns back and is surprised to see kids, and he introduces himself as Otto and learns their names to be Runa and Abby. Otto then moves on to parallel park in a single shot. Otto gives the keys and heads inside. He closes the window since the rope is still hanging, but it doesn't take long for the new neighbors come knocking to introduce themselves. The couple Marisol and Tommy introduces themselves and she gives him some food she made. Otto takes it and slams the door, but Marisol stops it with her foot and asks whether he is always this unfriendly. Otto answers quickly with a yes, and Tommy asks Otto for an Allen wrench. Otto takes them to his garage where he keeps his tools, and after they leave, Otto notices a cat staring at him outside. Coming back home, Otto tries the Mexican dish Marisol gave him and finds it delicious. After eating, Otto hasn't changed his mind. He goes back up on the table and hangs himself. His memories flash through his mind. Soon he starts to choke, but fortunately the rope snaps and he falls down. To his surprise, he sees an ad for flowers on the newspaper and tears it up. Later, Otto visits his wife Sonia's grave with the flowers he bought. He starts talking about his new neighbors and tells that he misses her. That night, he dreams of her by his side. His younger self was rejected of his military duty because of his medical condition, and on his way home, he sees a girl on the opposite side of the train station drop her book. Otto is bothered by it, so he decides to take the book and return it to her. He doesn't see her anywhere, so he boards the train to find her inside. He finds her lost in thought, and she notices Otto holding a book. He learns her name is Sonia, and they soon start chatting. At this point, the ticket checker finds that Otto is on the wrong train, and Sonia offers him some change since Otto is short to pay up. He finds a quarter to spare and returns it to her, but she tells him to keep it since it is lucky. The present Otto wakes up and he still carries that quarter. He leaves the tiffin with a thank you note at Marisol's place, and as he goes for his morning walk, Jimmy finds that Otto has retired and invites him for lunch. Later, when Otto returns home, he notices the cat he saw before and tells it to go away. He then goes in to work on fixing the hole in the ceiling. Soon the neighbors come knocking, and Tommy returns the Allen wrench, and Marisol gives Otto another dish he prepared. This time, Tommy asks for a ladder to fix his window on the first floor, and as they move to get it, they come across Anita, who asks for Otto's help with a radiator. Otto refuses, but Marisol asks him to help her, so Otto tells them to take the ladder and leave. Otto is surprised to find the cat under his car, and he tries to make it leave, but the cat holds on to him. He somehow manages to make it leave. Otto then drops by Anita's place. He says that he will help her with the radiator if she returns the garden hose they borrowed from him some time ago. Otto works on the radiator and chats with Ruben, her husband, who is now on a wheelchair, unable to respond. He speaks his mind to him, and as Anita goes to bring the host, a few minutes later, Jimmy comes to visit, and Otto leaves after hearing that their son Chris has been planning to sell their home and send Anita to a retirement home and arrange special care for Ruben. Otto leaves after shouting that their son is an idiot. Otto goes to the garage to leave his horse and notices that he had left the dish Marisol gave him earlier there. He heads out after eating it and he turns on the radio and starts reminiscing about Sonia. At this time, Otto is trying to suffocate himself inside the car, filling the exhaust gas through the hose. As this happens, he thinks of the past where a younger Otto takes Sonia to dinner. She learns that his father passed away 2 months ago and he never knew his mother. As they continue to eat, Sonia asks Otto why he didn't get an entree and he answers that he already ate and further says that he did so that she can eat whatever she wants. Otto also reveals that he never made it into the military and decides to leave, but Sonia holds on to him and kisses him. At this point, Marisol comes knocking the garage, stopping Otto from whatever he was doing. She tells him that Tommy fell off the ladder and asks Otto to drive her to the hospital. He tells her to take a car, but Marisol tells him that she doesn't have a driver's license. Otto is shocked to learn someone of her age not knowing how to drive, but still he takes her to the hospital and he ends up looking after Runa and Abby. He reads them a storybook, but a clown comes jumping in. The clown asks for a coin and Otto gives the quarter he got from Sonia to him. And soon we see Marisol see her kids alone. She finds Otto with the police and he explains that the clown played tricks and hid his coin but gave him another one. So he fought with him for his quarter. He takes them back home and the next day as Otto is shoveling the snow, Marisol freaks out seeing the cat almost dead on the snow. She calls Otto to help it since she is pregnant, but Otto refuses. However, Jimmy walks by at this time and offers to help the cat. So Marisol and Jimmy bring the cat inside Otto's place. Marisol learns about Sonia from Jimmy and as they leave, we jump back to the past when he graduated and that was the day Otto asked Sonia for her hand in marriage. Coming back to the present, Otto heads to the train station and plans to jump in front of a train, but before he does that, an old man beside him falls on the track. Since everyone starts filming and no one volunteering, Otto jumps in himself to save the guy. He shouts at the others to pull the guy up, but he stands back on the track. A guy on the platform yells at him and offers his hand to pull Otto back. Otto leaves the station disappointed and is lost in thought inside the car in front of his garage. At this time, Marisol surprises him with a picture Abby drew and asks Otto to be her driving instructor. Otto refuses, of course, and Jimmy drops by with the cat inside a box. He tells them that he is allergic to cats, and Marisol offers to help Jimmy and they leave the cat with Otto. Otto somehow accepts his fate and he orders the cat to get in the box and takes it along to Sonia's grave. He informs that he is taking care of the cat and promises to join her after deciding what to do with it. The next morning, he wakes up to find the cat sleeping beside him. He goes outside only to argue with the paper boy and learns that he was a student of his late wife. Otto feels bad for yelling at him, so he introduces himself and learns that the kid's name is Malcolm. As Malcolm leaves, Otto sees Marisol driving under the instruction of Andy from the neighborhood. He feels like she is not taught correctly, so sometime later, Otto visits Marisol and offers to teach her to drive. She seems really nervous driving Otto's car, and Otto is insistent on her braking, and after the signal turns green, Marisol becomes nervous and ends up holding the line. Soon the guy behind starts honking. Otto kind of loses it instantly and goes out to warn him. He comes back to pep talk Marisol and she manages to drive perfectly. But soon she meets the next hurdle of parallel parking. With Otto's guidance, she learns that too. So Otto treats her to his favorite bakery and buys her a semlor. She finds it delicious and asks him how he found such a place. He tells her that Sonia found this place and they used to come here often. Marisol wants to learn more about Sonia and we jump into the past again. This time, it's when Sonia and Otto moved into this neighborhood. Sonia and Anita become friends and so does Otto and Ruben. But soon, Otto broke up with Ruben because of their different taste in cars. Otto tells Marisol that Anita's and Ruben's son Chris left for Japan 10 years ago and has never come back since. Marisol then asks if Otto and Sonia ever talked about having children, but Otto diverts from talking about it and decides to leave. When they come back, Marisol asks Otto to babysit Runa and Abby since she and Tommy are going out for dinner. When Tommy and Marisol return, they find Runa sitting Otto and Abby. He even pats himself on the back. The next morning, he helps Malcolm with his bicycle. At this time, Shari Kenzie, a social media journalist, comes looking for Otto. She introduces herself and mentions what he did the other day at the train station was nice. He learns that more than 1 million people have seen this video and he locks Sherry inside the garage as he sees Marisol coming. After Sherry leaves, Marisol comes and offers to help clear his home with Sonia's things. Otto doesn't like that and yells at Marisol. Now a guy who happens to be a realtor, Otto knows, comes driving and Otto goes on to argue with him. But the man starts talking about Sonia. Otto has trouble breathing and heads home and locks himself in. Marisol is worried seeing Otto behaving that way, but Otto locks her out. Otto goes on to take his gun, and we see him having glimpses of his memories with Sonia. He covers the room with plastic and before he dresses up, he turns on the radio for the cat to listen to. He sits on the room he prepared and we see a past memory where Otto and a pregnant Sonia are traveling on the bus. He leaves for the bathroom and the bus gets into an accident. Otto crawls out searching for Sonia and later we see them at the hospital. They lose their baby in the accident and this devastates them both. As Otto goes on to pull the trigger, he hears Sonia's voice telling him to stop now. He gets startled by the knocking on his door and ends up shooting at his ceiling. He goes out to find Malcolm asking to let him stay the night since his dad kicked him out. The next morning, Otto finds Malcolm cooking and has fed the cat. Later, Malcolm joins Otto for his walk and Jimmy joins them too. Jimmy also mentions that Anita and Ruben are leaving that afternoon since their son Chris made a deal with a realtor. Otto refuses to accept, but Jimmy goes on to mention that Anita gave her son the power of attorney last year when he found that she had Parkinson's. Otto also learns that they decided not to tell Otto and Sonia about this since they did not want them to worry. Otto immediately rushes to meet Anita and asks her to give him the documents he had. Anita is more than happy to get his help and leaves to get what he needs. Otto apologizes to Ruben and mentions that it is about time they settle their problem. Otto then goes to ask Marisol to use their phone. Marisol is clearly unhappy and questions Otto on what happened to him on the road and why he shut her out last night, why his phone doesn't work, and why he doesn't accept someone's help. She starts crying, telling him how worried she was about him. She also gives it to him straight in anger. But then Otto tells her about Anita and Ruben moving out, and that is why he needs to use her phone. She lets him in, and Otto goes on to tell her that Sonia and Otto wanted to have a vacation before their baby came, and they visited the Niagara Falls. On their way back, the bus met with an accident because the brakes had been recalled, but the bus company never bothered to change them. They lost their child in that accident and mentions that Sonia became paralyzed after. The neighborhood changed and the facilities were never suitable for Sonia, and he got angry at the realtors and they kicked him out of the association. He also tells Marisol that Sonia passed away 6 months ago and he was planning to join her. So he cut off all the connections at his place and was getting ready to join her when they moved in. He also mentions that Sonia wants him to live and has things to do. In the afternoon, the realtors enter their neighborhood. They ask Otto not to cause any problems, but Otto does nothing. Anita comes out declaring that she is not going to let them take her husband or her or their property. Shari brings a cameraman and films all this. The realtor questions Anita who will take care of her or her husband and points towards Otto, mentioning he himself needs someone to look after him. At this point, Jimmy comes out saying that he will take care of them, and we can also see Marisol and Tommy filming the whole thing. Shari barges in now and questions the realtor why their son, who never bothered to visit them for the past 10 years, would now be interested in taking care of them and their property. Shari questions how the realtor got hold of the information on the elderly's medical report, since Anita herself hasn't told everyone else till now. Bewildered, the realtor backs off. Otto walks out holding the cat as Sherry interviews the others, but after walking a few steps ahead, Otto faints. Marisol sees him fall and Otto gets admitted in the hospital. He seems okay and the doctor comes to find Marisol since Otto has listed her as the next of kin. Otto's medical condition caught up to him and the doctor mentions that his heart is too big for him, and hearing this, Marisol couldn't contain her laughter. As she continues to laugh, Marisol's water breaks and she goes into labor. A few days later, Everyone gathers to welcome baby Marco to the family, and Otto presents a crib for the baby. Marisol is happy seeing Otto, and she hands baby Marco over to Otto and heads outside. Otto introduces himself to Marco and gently places him inside the crib. As days go by, Otto can be seen taking care of the cat, and he also brings Tommy, Marisol, and the whole family over to Sonia to introduce them. Soon, Marisol packs up Sonia's things for Otto to move on, and on one fine day, Otto gives Malcolm his car and he buys himself a new truck. He takes Marisol, the kids, and even the cat for a ride. 3 years later, one day, when Tommy goes out to pick up a delivery, he notices Otto hasn't shoveled his walk. He calls Marisol and they run in to check on him, and Marisol goes up to find Otto passed away on the bed, holding on to the quarter, and Tommy finds a letter addressed to Marisol. She opens it up to read Otto, asking her to take care of the cat. Otto has written that he would like a normal funeral with only the people who thought that he pulled his weight. Shari covers his funeral, and in his remembrance, Jimmy speaks that he and Malcolm would continue the daily walk. In addition, Otto has also left the access to his bank account to Marisol to look after the kid. He left her his house and asks her not to sell it to the realtor. And finally, he writes that only she can ride his truck. With this, the movie ends, and comment down below about the person you are thinking about after watching this story about a man called Otto. And I will see you again with another recap like this. And until then, this is your host for Movie Recap signing off. Thanks for watching.